Oh, don't want to forget the lights. Don't want to forget the lights. I almost forgot. And you can't forget the sugar-free soda. 0 calories, because when you're sitting for hours in coding, why do you need the calories, really? Oh. Okay, so I've done 7 of these streams so far. This is number 8, and as always, we'll see some interesting things, and thank you for joining me. Right now, let me say welcome in the chat. I see Andrew here. Yes, you made it. Exactly. Finally made it, he says. Okay, so let me switch over. I like to always do this at the beginning of every stream. We have Firefox here, and at elegacorp.com you can find all of the latest. There on the left you have the latest blog post. There's a May 2019 update, which already is a little bit out of date. You can see on the right that there's the stream schedule. Yes, there's a stream happening today. It's happening right now, 7 p.m. CST. Next Sunday on June 2nd, you can see there on the right, there will be yet another stream at 7 p.m., but that is the last Sunday stream that will happen. And then I'll be switching to Thursdays at 7 p.m. CST/8 p.m. EST. And if you need another time zone outside of that, go ahead and figure it out, I guess. All that being said, let's get into it. I don't want to waste much of any time. By the way, please note, right above me as well, if you've been wondering about picking up some merch, Kalling is the discount code for the Teespring merchandise store, and you can get 15% off if you use that code at checkout. Alright, so I've cut over to display capture, and let me move into Unity. Here we go. So just to recap on where I am again. Let's see. So if I hit play, there's some music, there's the main UI, there's an amount of cache that we start with, there's a number of people that we start with. If I hit X on the keyboard, I can move around this prototype graphic, and if I click over the landscape, I can assign a name. Maybe I'll just say this is a business. Not a very creative name, I grant you, but there we go. I'm going to move this over. That formatting is not right at all, is it? Coming over on that left side. Goodness, I might want to adjust that. That is potentially problematic there. Okay, let me pause that. That music. I don't know if it's loud for you, but it's loud in my ear, right? So anyway, okay, so actually let me unpause. So if I hit X over here, then I have the house, and it's not movable. And if I click on it again, Well, I say a house. The business type is a farm, but it's a prototype graphic, so it's representing just about anything. And it shows income per turn. There's no workers assigned. There's a maximum number of workers, and so on. Okay, great. So this is the main mechanic of how the town gets built out. Is you place down these buildings, and of course, some of the things that have to move in here are I need to have a mechanic to allow the player within this UI to bring in people into those businesses, bring people into the town, and that's basically where I'm at. Okay, so if you've been following any of the previous streams, then you've seen a lot of this code. This is the game manager class. There's a ton of variables up here at the top, and a lot of my classes are kind of structured this way. We have a ton of global variables in the top. We have, in some cases, we have some initialization code here in the start method. Here in the update function, this is responding to just controls input. That's the only thing it's doing at the moment. And I have a bunch of hotkeys. Now, I think at the end of the last stream, I had kind of said some things about where I wanted to be by this one, and it really didn't happen. I've been focusing on some things at home, and there have been some other things that have come up during the week, like a Pluralsight course update, and maybe I'll talk about that a little bit later in the stream as well, because after all, this is a Elega Corp live stream. You can see the logo right up there on the top right. Okay, so if I scroll down, obviously I'm not going to go through all of this. If you really want to know about every detail of this, most of it has been covered in the prior streams, and you can watch those on the Elega Corp YouTube channel. But what I need to get done today has to do with that screen that you just saw. So when I place down a business, well, so first of all, in reality, internally, you're starting with 3 businesses anyway. You're starting with 3 farms, and I need a way to bring in workers here under this UI. So if I close this, I need a way to interact with the people that are able to be brought into the town, as well as maybe manipulate some things about the business. So that's what I need to get into tonight. Okay. So I know that one of the things I wanted to have done is, instead of everything having that prototype graphic, I wanted to have some additional artwork done, but that hasn't happened. So I'm going to need to pull up the UI manager, I know that much. Because I'll need to be, I mean, look at all these. This is an insane number of variables. I wish there was a better way to organize this, but honestly, with the kind of time scale I have, probably not. I'm probably just going to shove everything up here. I mean, I really don't know what else to say about it, honestly. Okay. Okay, so step 1 probably is to get, at least for today, step 1 today, not step 1 in general. Step 1 today would be I need to have a way to select a person to assign to the business right there in that panel. So that's what I need to get done. And there was some really ugly stuff happening there with the resolution adjustment, where the text was getting cut off on the left. I might try and figure that out as well. Andrew in chat says, digging the game music. Yeah, well, unfortunately, that's just placeholder music. But, I mean, it sounds great, right? It sounds wonderful. I do want to get original music in here. Although I agree, it sounds good. All right. So I wonder if I can create like a sub panel and get like a little scroll box in here. Let me see if I can do that. So if I say create UI panel, I wonder if I can kind of get something going here and just get the get like a scroll area inside of here or something like that. Business name, does that populate? I don't think it does. I'd be surprised if it does. I gotta disable that too, that's ugly. Okay. So this should be above the business name panel. I'm going to say this is the people select panel. The green almost makes it look like some kind of a pool table or something. I don't know. Whatever works, right? Whatever works at the moment. I'm going to temporarily disable the sound manager to get that icon out of here. Business name. So this... that needs to change. Business name. Business and people text. Yeah, that's not right. I'm going to say business. Business text. And we're just going to have this say business. And I'm going to add a UI component for, and I'm wondering, does the display capture properly get that drop down menu? It does. That's good. So I've had to do like a slightly different setup every single time for the stream. And tonight I'm running on the Elgato capture card, which is good. Just gonna make this white and get the UI font and make this a lot larger, make it bold. There we go. Center it just for formatting reasons. Move this inside here, I guess. Works well enough. Where did my text go? Okay. Inside the people select panel. Do this name. People text. So I need to adjust the formatting here. Actually, I'm going to position that text toward the top of this box. It's probably a better positioning. Okay. Game object, UI. Can I get a... that is not what I want. Can I get a scroll area that works? That will not be a nightmare. Scroll view. See some folks joining in the chat. How are all of you? Welcome, welcome. By the way, if you hear some background noise, there's people outside that are just having the time of their lives right now. They're just having a blast out there. There was a party going on earlier. Such is the life of a live streamer. Okay, so I'm trying to change the colors going on here. If it will let me. It's like there's a back panel or something that I can't get to. Oh, it's this right here. There we go. And I'm going to need to get some test objects in here. How do I want to do this? Let me try text first. Make this a little larger. That's a little too large. And let me see if I can get this positioned properly. Content. So the idea is that the person's name should be able to be here. I'm going to need some kind of a component to allow this to interact with the scroll area. And I forget what needs to happen for that. I'm going to take a look. Because believe it or not, I do not work with a Unity scroll view every single day. Oh yeah, let me disable the horizontal scroll bar, because that is absolutely not necessary. Auto hide. Are the people going to have stats that affect gameplay? Yes, they do. And I haven't gotten into that a whole lot yet, but they do, and there's already kind of some placeholders. So here in the code, they have a happiness level, and they also have how comfortable they are with a given amount of cash. So the idea being that the people, at least as objects in memory, have different numbers assigned to them. They have things that can affect these stats of money and happiness, but I haven't done anything with these variables yet. So that I have to circle back around to. And of course, there's perhaps some other things I'd like to add in here, but you know, one step at a time. I want to get the interactivity of money and the happiness number working first before I try and tackle anything else. So you have auto hide on the horizontal scroll bar. Content items. Okay. Root game object has the scroll rect component. This image shows a setup where the viewport is a child to the scroll view root. This is the default used when using the game object UI scroll view menu option. Yes, yes, yes. There is a component, is there not? I thought there was. Value changed. All the scrolling content must be the children of a single content game object that is a child of the viewport. The content rect transform needs to be referenced in the content property of the scroll rect. Content rect transform needs to be. The scroll bars, if used. Okay, so sounds like it needs a rect transform, which it has, because it's already part of this UI tool set here. So if I copy this and maybe move the copy down and copy that and move that down and so on. I'm interested to see the default scrollability here. And just for gigs, I'm going to go in and just add some different texture just so that I can make sense of it all. Especially if I have things like text that gets out of order or anything like that. Okay. Yeah, that does not work as intended, does it? Okay. So I think it needs visibility, auto hide and expand viewport. No, permanent. Let me add some additional items. I'm assuming that maybe as I add the items, we will need more to go down here. There we go. See if I can get a scroll bar to appear. I'm assuming it's kind of automatic. There is no scroll bar. That does not help me at all. Although what I can do for right now, I will say this is the people select scroll view. And I've put this under the people select panel. No, I have not. There it is. Now it's under the people select panel. People select panel, and so this should be under the business panel. There we go. Now everything is in the right hierarchy. So if I hit the X, it should close out everything. Yeah. Okay, there we go. All right. Movement type elastic. Movement type clamps? I should probably read the docs before I adjust this value. But why not test it? That does nothing. Okay. That doesn't help me. Elastic, inertia, scroll sensitivity. Okay. The scroll bars, if used, are children to the root game object. See the scroll bar page for more details. Scroll bar. Okay, so there's the scroll bar component all its own. Scroll rect, viewport, scroll bar vertical. Oh yes, okay. Change this color here. Highlighted color can be slightly lighter. Navigation automatic. Navigation vertical. The selected scroll bar direction conflicts with navigation. Not all navigation options may work. I shouldn't be able to move that side to side. That is really ridiculous. Direction, bottom to top. Top to bottom? No, bottom to top. Bottom to top. Value, size, number of steps. Number of steps? What does that do? Oh my goodness. I have no... Oh, that's different. Not by much. Okay. Sliding area. Handle. Okay. Okay. The value of a scroll bar is determined by the position of the handle along its length, with the value being reported as a fraction between the extreme ends. For example, the default left-right bar has a value of 0.0 at the left end, 1.0 at the right end, and 0.5 indicates the halfway point. That makes sense. The scroll bar can be oriented vertically by choosing top to bottom or bottom to top for the direction property. Yes. A significant difference between the scroll bar and the similar slider control is that the scroll bar's handle can change in size to represent the distance of scrolling available. When the view can scroll only a short way, the handle will fill up most of the bar and only allow a slight shift either direction. The scroll bar has a single event called onValueChange that responds as the user drags the handle. Current value is passed to the even function as a float parameter. Typical use cases for the scroll bar include scrolling a piece of text vertically, yes. Scrolling a timeline horizontally, okay. Used as a pair, scrolling a large image both horizontally and vertically to view a zoomed selection. The size of the handle changes to indicate the degree of zooming and therefore the available distance for scrolling. That helps me at a quantity of 0. So let me do this. Unity, C#, scroll bar. Just show me the API. So let me try this. I'm going to go into the code and how best to do this? Let's see. Do I have an activate business panel function? Activate business, no. Activate business name panel. No, that's not what I want. How about business panel? Business panel. Display business panel. I'm going to change this to, I guess I should keep it as display. Display, that's fine. I'll keep it that way. Business panel, set active. So I'm going to add something in here to populate the scrollable view. And I don't know if it's going to work at all. It probably won't, but I'm going to try. Let's see. So public void, I will say populate people select. I'll just call it that for now. Populate people select. And this is going to be really expensive, but I just want to do it to see if it works. So I'm going to say populate people select inside of the display, so that when the panel comes on, it will populate. And gosh, you know what? I can at least do this as a coroutine, so let me do that. Start coroutine. Public I enumerator, and I will say get available people. No. Instantiate available people. Scroll items. At least it says what it does. It's a huge long name, but at least it says what it does. Instantiate available people scroll items. And then inside here, throw in a yield return null for the coroutine. Game object, no. Game object, I will say in-person menu item. This is going to go inside a for loop, so for person. Yeah, let me do this as int I0 j game manager dot available people dot length dot count. Autocomplete is not my friend at the moment for some reason. I wonder if that means I've already broken the code. Available people dot count. Game object. I need to specify the the current person. Autocomplete is not my friend at the moment. Person, current person. Game manager dot available people at I, position I. New menu item. Game object. Why do I not have autocomplete? Why is it not working? I don't understand. Let me stop there for a second. Put in yield return null. Will the code compile? Do I have any errors coming back? No, I don't. Oh, what just happened? Okay. Well, the scrollability doesn't really work that well, does it? Okay. So there's nothing wrong. Autocomplete is just not working for whatever reason. That's annoying. It's referencing local variables just fine, but it doesn't reference anything from the Unity namespace. That's annoying. Instantiate. I guess a prefab would be nice. We'll do a prefab. Oh my goodness. Window size was freaking out on me. So I will make a prefab. I'll just make this thing a prefab here. Prefabs. Assets, resources, prefabs. Person list item. There we go. Save scene, save project. This needs to be resources.load prefabs person list item. I think it was called that. And I need double quotes because this is C# after all. Prefabs person list item. Load that as game object. And new person menu item. Now there is a way to assign the parent, and I know I'm doing that somewhere. Where am I doing that? Transform.parent, that's right. So new person menu item dot transform dot parent will need to be the business panel person select scroll view. I'll say scroll content. So it'll need to be that transform, and we'll assign that in the editor shortly. And I lost my place because my code is totally out of control. Okay. Available people. Available people. Oh my goodness. There we go. Oh, I just lost it. That's great. Resources dot. There we go. Resources dot load as game object. Transform.parent, this should go right under BP person select scroll content dot transform. I think that's it. I don't think I need to modify its location in a vector 3 or anything like that. That should be enough. Okay, let me see if that works. And I'm going to delete all of these from the content. So those are gone. Save. Save project, hit play. And I get nothing. Oh, I know why. I didn't assign it. For one thing, did not assign it. The other thing is that the business panel should be inactive to begin with, so I will do that. And I need to go to UI Manager and assign the object. Person select. People select. People select. People select scroll view. I need the content. I should really probably name that. Yeah, I need to name that something different. I'm going to rename this to person or people. People select content. There we go. And hopefully the assignment sticks over in UI Manager. Yes, it does. Okay. And it doesn't work. Actually, it does. It did load a bunch of objects. They just can't be seen anywhere. Let me pause this. So if I zoom out, are these objects somewhere in the... Oh my goodness, they are. Oh my gosh. They are way out in the oblivion. Oh my goodness. That is not good. But they exist. Gosh, that's horrible. And if I saw that right, they got added to the correct game objects, but so like they're parented correctly. Yep, they're under the content, but they're out in outer space for some reason. Okay. Well, it was pretty fast. It didn't seem like it took anything to do performance-wise, really. I wonder if I can notice any kind of a drop. No, there was like nothing. Oh, and each time it is loading them. Well, okay, that's not entirely unexpected. So, if for every time I bring up the business panel, it's going to duplicate all of those. Not entirely unexpected. Okay, well, I'm going to bring up an older panel for a second, because I just want to see some things work here. I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to bring this up. That's not what I was wanting. Not this. No. This. Okay, so the positioning on that is not right. That's weird. Hang on a second. I'm going to pull this back up. So this positioning is all messed up. Something's wrong with this one. see. The grass texture needs to be a part of the town view. That's how that needs to work. Okay, so what I'm trying to figure out, and if you've watched some of the earlier streams, you probably saw this panel for business and people, but what I'm trying to understand is there's a few problems going on. The way that this panel used to work is you used to be able to cycle through people on the right. You used to be able to cycle through businesses on the left. The match button would then, if the person was not employed, well, yeah, that would be it right there, actually. So let me add a couple people and then place down something. So if I do this and then pull up this and take away that, and this person is unemployed, match. Okay, so that does work. Okay, for right now, that's what I want to do, because I want to use this panel because it's going to be faster from just testing the gameplay standpoint. And I'm not gonna make anyone watching the stream have me, watch me work through the painstaking process of getting that scroll view to work. I have a feeling that's going to take me quite a bit of time to fix. So I'm going to leave that how it is. I'm going to disable that, but what I do want to do is focus on getting this panel working, because I can get a better idea about gameplay working that much faster if I go that route. So for that, what I can do is temporarily add a kind of like a button. How can I do that? Should I do that up on the top bar? Maybe. I might want to do that. Top UI bar. Let's add something up there. Let's add I'll add an image. Why not? Oh my goodness. Top UI bar. There we go. And move this. I'm not going to do that. Well, maybe I should, actually. I'll make this a little prototype graphic here. Move this up, and I'm going to scale it. Whoa! My goodness. I'm going to scale it down. How can I do this? Gosh, that is not wanting to scale in a friendly way. Can I just move? Oh, okay. 0.02. 0.02. Okay. Can I do point? Oh, so if I do 01, 05, 015, 0.005, 0.005. That should be not offensive for testing purposes, and I will fix it later. I just need a way to get to the panel. That's all I need from this. And can I make this a button? I should have just, target graphic image. Yes, that's what I want. And on click, I want the UI manager. UI manager, and I want to display the business and people panel. Open business and people panel, that's what I want. Let me see if that works. And it does. That is what I want. Okay. Okay, and another thing I can do for right now is under the business panel, I'm going to take out that scroll view. People select panel. This is going to be permanently disabled for right now. And if I want to put it back in later, I totally can. Okay, so some things did not exist back whenever I was working on that business and people panel. One of which was the town view, so I need to have that disabled. Open business and people panel. So that needs to be set active to true, and the town view needs to be set to false. And it should be that simple. And when I close it, the town view should be set to true. Close business and people panel. Set active false, town view, set active true. The exact opposite. There we go. All right. Okay, so that kind of works, sort of. All right. So. Goodness. All right. So now what I should be able to do is lay these down. Lay this one down. Okay. And the first three businesses that you get, those are currently defaulting to a none business name. Okay, well, so I need a menu to select the type of business to build. I'm not sure how to go about that at the moment. Well, I think this is actually a good place to call the stream, probably, because it's going to take quite a bit of time to get the person selection working how I really want it to work. And I think I really need to figure out the approach before I go through the actions of actually building it out. I think. I don't know, it's a tough call. So I need a menu for selecting the kind of business. I need a menu for people selection. I need buttons everywhere. Well, okay, yeah. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to go ahead and take a break and probably grab a nice additional sugar-free soda, because when you're sitting for hours in coding, why do you need the calories? And when I come back, I'll try and reach some kind of a decision about what to attack next. I'm at a point now where I really need to start forming a better game plan. And if I don't, I risk kind of going in circles in a few of these areas. So that may be the very next thing to do. All right. So I'll be right back here in about 5 minutes. Well, I have a horrible habit of hitting the wrong button on the audio controls, so I muted the music instead of the mic. That was really brilliant. I'm going to go ahead and call it here, and I'm gonna figure out a game plan. I'm a little frustrated with where things are tonight. There's just parts about this that are not coming together the way that I like, and the progress this evening is not going in the direction that I prefer. So I'm going to figure out a better way to get into these menus, and I'm going to work on that over the week. When I come back next Sunday, hopefully there will be a much better sort of plan as to how to snap these things together. So I'll go with that. Thank you everyone in the chat for joining me. Real quick before I go, if you have any questions for me, now's the time to shoot them out, and I can answer anything that you may have. Otherwise, let's cut on back to Firefox for just a moment. And once again, there's the Elega Corp website. If you would like to support the stream, be sure to go to the Teespring store, which you can get through this banner if you just click on that. And here within the store, there's all kinds of good stuff. There's company logos stuff for Elega Corp, and of course, the Kalling Kingdom merch is on the way. Don't forget that the Kalling Kingdom Twitter is up online now, so please follow that. And I will be back soon next week with another stream, and hopefully it'll go better than this one. This was kind of a downer, and that's a shame because this is the first evening stream that I've really given a shot at. But anyway, gonna come back stronger, better than before, and I'll figure out a nice way to get the menus taken care of. There's artwork that needs to be done. The menus need to be taken care of, and there's so much left to be done. It's the end of May too. That this is meant to make a July release date, and so whatever the game plan is that I come up with, and whatever I sort of work on throughout this week, that will have to carry me through. And hopefully I can do it, and hopefully it'll come out halfway decent. But I'm gonna get to July, and I'm gonna ship it, and that is what it is. So, anyway. All right. Thank you to everyone for joining me. Have a good night. I am out.